everything is spiritual.
It is.
But how deep do you understand that? We're not going to have the ability to say no to things we don't understand.
Everything you see is a form of programming. So the moment you realize that, lust is also included in there.
They're visually open to understand that, hey, there are things that we cannot let into this marriage. So when you introduce the need for variety, then it kind of beats the purpose. So that tells you something. Lust and a thriving marriage cannot live together. Temptations are accessible. They're right there in front of us, meaning all these are distractions from purity.
There's just always lust included, no matter which way you look at it. Social media has actually made it worse.
Welcome to the second episode of Talks with Esther. My name is Esther and I'm your host. And with me today, I have two amazing guests and I'm going to be letting them introduce themselves. We're going to start with the beautiful lady over there.
Okay, well, my name is Catherine Kinuthia and I'm super excited to be here today.
Thank you.
I'm Ben. I'm just going to be a regular host. I'll be here often as possible. So just watch out. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really do appreciate each one of you. And to my viewers, I'm not going to keep you waiting. We're going to get right into the video. Our topic of today is lust. Do you feel like society has made it almost impossible to avoid it?
I want to say no, society has actually amplified lust more than any time before today or in the history ever. Why? Social media has actually made it worse. I want to say based off of social media and anything you really attain, it could be from programming, TV itself, social media, there's just always lust included no matter which way you look at it. It might not be super obvious, but it is somehow, some way included in everything. So I would just say be aware of that.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. And just to add on that, all these means that we have temptations are accessible. They're right there in front of us, meaning all these are distractions from purity, right? So they're readily accessible and they are many and they've also been normalized. So yes, we're living in a day and time where all these things are just too accessible to everyone.
Oh, I like that. And to add on that, I would say like you could be in the middle of scrolling and then all of a sudden something pops up on your FYP. Or maybe we're searching up for a recipe or maybe a workout routine and all of a sudden you're seeing hypersexualized content. It can even be in music videos, advertisements, dating apps. It's just readily available. It's just right there.
Yeah.
So I feel like social media has really made it almost impossible to avoid it.
That's true.
I agree. There's, as of recent, when I say that, probably like 10 years ago, there's even a movement called the Hot Summer Girl. You could do your research on that, but that is a form of movement that's out there that literally promotes things that we're discussing. Pretty much lust, promiscuity, all that. It all leads together. So
that's lustful things.
Oh, yeah. And this makes it feel like it's normal.
Exactly. And that creates an even bigger problem because when you normalize something and when something looks okay, it becomes hard to even walk away from it.
Yeah.
Because it's normal. Everyone is doing it. It's right there. I can do this. There's really nothing that's going to help you tap out of it. You don't have visual reminders to tap out of it. You don't have anyone telling you to tap out of it unless you actually dig deeper and want to have these conversations. So that's another thing.
Oh, yeah, that's really true. We are living right now in the times of YOLO. You only live once. You just do it. Just do it. But we come to see that there is really great effects of this that people are not really ready to discuss. And I would really like us to dive into some of them, a bit of them, like when it comes to relationship or even marriage, because you're in a relationship, you're also in a relationship.
Yes.
I would really like to hear your perspective on how that lust can affect relationship and marriages.
Wow. Well, when you think of lust, it's the need or want for variety. And what is marriage? Marriage is two people coming together, to do life together. So when you introduce the need for variety, then it kind of beats the purpose. So that tells you something. Lust and a thriving marriage cannot live together. right? And now because you have all these things being normalized, marriages are, are affected greatly. And marriages that actually thrive, those two people who are in that marriage have to be at a point where their eyes are open. They're visually open to understand that, hey, there are things that we cannot let into this marriage. We have to keep this space pure because that is what God intended it to be, right? Canceling out any sort of sexual immorality, even though we have all these temptations in the society.
Yeah. I want to hear your perspective too on that.
No, I agree with her. I just feel like the day and time we're in, I think individuals need to understand that first things first, everything you see is a form of programming. So the moment you realize that, lust is also included in there. So kind of like agreeing with her and saying the moment you realize, when you're self-aware about what's happening, leads to either success or failure.
Sure.
Right? So I think truly the message here is one person needs to realize that everything you see is not the actual reality. There's always an agenda behind it. So once you clearly see that, then you can kind of make a decision for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just to build on the effects of lust in a marriage, in a marriage, you're meant to be one, right? So being lustful leads to disconnect. You're disconnected because you're bringing in soul ties from these and that because of things you're indulging in, right? Maybe you fell into the temptations that are in social media and all that. So you're building these extra homes in you without actually realizing it. And in the end, when now you come together in the marriage, right? Like doing what God created marriage for a very big reason. That's the base of everything, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's that disconnect. Meaning the families that are coming forth from marriages, they're not in the right place. There's a problem. Now, and if there's that problem in marriages and in families, then we end up having even more problems. So this is a topic that really needs it needs good attention. We need to sit and really dissect it, especially when it comes to marriage, of which, relationships lead to marriage, should lead to marriage, right? Yes.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that, I want to say, I don't know the statistics exactly, but do you guys think that why a lot of broken homes are part of, the lust is part of this problem? Would you agree? Or what do you think? Do you think that's a new common problem?
I would say yes. It's a very big problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I also do agree, because when we look at lust, it leads to sexual morality, like directly, multiple partners. So I have now a choice to choose from variety. I can go from one person to another, forgetting that there's consequences for that. You mentioned something, you mentioned a very good point and said soul ties. This is something that people don't really talk about.
Yes, they don't, because they don't understand what soul ties really are. Because as we're saying here, all these things have been normalized. So having many sexual partners is really normal today, right?
Yeah.
But we don't understand, a lot of, not young people, everyone, no matter the age, they don't understand what you carry from having many sexual partners. You're carrying soul ties from coming into union, because, sex is coming into union with them. So you're carrying something and end up dealing with things that were never even meant for you.
Ooh,
And that includes even fantasies that you never really had. And all of a sudden you're dealing with something and you're like, where did this come from? Guess what? It's from all those soul ties, from the people that you've, come into union with. And now you're dealing with something that was never really even yours to begin with.
Ooh, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, are soul ties mainly, do they affect differently men versus women, or is it a broad thing?
I would say it's a broad thing. It's either you understand it or you don't. Period. That's the difference. Whether you're male or female, if you understand the effect of soul ties, you'll have this say on it. But if you don't understand the effect of soul ties, then you'll be like, they probably don't have an effect, because understanding is the only thing that makes a difference here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are women or men carry us?
I want to say both. I feel like when it comes to soul ties, it doesn't really choose who's going to attack, because everybody carries a spirit in them. I have a different spirit in me. You have your own spirit. You have your own spirit. So when people come in together and they are having sex, different energies are getting changed. So you're basically carrying my spirit, and I'm carrying your spirit.
I think
And all the baggage that I have is being transmitted to you.
Damn, not the baggage.
You know what?
And all the
Not
baggage
the
that you
baggages.
have
But
is being
It's true.
brought to
It's
me.
true.
It's
You know,
true,
when
yeah.
people say, nowadays there's this phrase that people are saying, everything is spiritual. But we don't sit to really, really understand what that means. It's true. Everything is spiritual.
It is.
But
It
how
is.
deep do you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
So we are spiritual beings. We just happen to be living in a body.
So
And we also have a soul. So that understanding, when you understand that, now you understand deeply what it means that everything is spiritual.
It changes the whole
what
dynamic.
you're looking at. So what covenant are you keeping with your eyes, with your ears, with your everything? Like, what are you allowing into your spirit, man? You know, into your inlets, your eyes, your ears, you know, your thoughts.
I feel like, and this is just a opinion out there, right? From what I've heard, women are carriers, right? They carry those ties, those soul ties, versus men who are quote unquote givers, right?
Okay.
So how can, if you guys are talking about soul ties, how can a man carry a tie? How can he carry that vibe or spiritual energy from a woman, yet he's the one who's supposed to give it up or inject it, if you will? Lack of a better wording.
So, Ben, you know, that question is from the perspective that women are the
hosts.
receivers, right? And the men are the givers. But in real sense, soul ties are soul ties. Everyone carries them. So if I agreed with your definition, I would have an answer for that. But now, everyone is a carrier. So when you come into union with someone, whether male, female, you're transferring something to them, you know? So that means both men and women should stay away from, you know, sexual immorality, you know, because you're opening a gateway of transfer here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I would actually say is maybe women are hosts and carriers, but there's other form of spiritual coming from other sides, right? Like, for example, I would consider all the three of us high energy people, right? If you're a negative person and you're always talking about negativity all the time, and then you bring that to somebody who's, let's say you're the guy, right? In this scenario, you're always a negative person. Your energy is always wrong. You don't have positive vibes. Would that be considered part of that spiritual thing, would you say?
I feel like I have a different perspective when it comes to that. As you said, it's either you understand it or you don't understand
So
it.
if you're not of the opinion that
Fair enough.
soul ties are soul ties,
Yeah, because
we're not going to be talking from the same page.
Okay,
If I may say so, right?
fair enough. Yeah.
I do agree with you. Okay, I'm trying to see your point of view, but
trying to
I
see-
choose
yeah.
not to
It's
understand
still
it.
true.
It is true.
But it's also superficial. Like, it's just on the
Okay.
base of things, on the general side of things.
Right.
But when it comes to lust, which leads to sexual immorality, which is our topic today, right?
Definitely.
You have to dig deeper. You have to understand it deeper. Because we're not going to have the ability to say no to things we don't understand. So we first have to understand, why do we have to stay away from, why do we have to stay away from all these things in social media? How can we change the algorithm in my phone to be able to bring me the things that I should be seeing?
And it will never be possible.
It is possible.
I don't think it's possible.
To some extent,
is.
it's possible, but it's not. I see
think
what you
social
mean.
media is created for sales, right? It has to make
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
What sells?
see.
Sex sells, right? So if everybody's preaching positivity, good energy, high spirits, morality, that's not gonna work, because negativity always wins. Negativity always wins. Think about it. If you're watching the news,
That's exactly why we're here, though. Like, he's right. But that's exactly why we're here.
For example,
That's why we are having these
I can
conversations
give you
today,
a
and
good
that's why
example
this
right
is
now.
a problem
If
today.
we turn on CNN, don't forget the network. If we turn on newscast, right? Is it gonna be talking positive or negative stuff?
But here's the thing, though. Everybody has a different perspective on how they see life, and you can only see things according to how maybe you have met yourself or how deeper you have gotten. You know, when you say it about soul ties, the people who will say probably, "Oh, it's just sex. It's just casual. You know, I'm just having it, and that's the end of it." But then, if you have been in your word and you know what the Bible says,
understand what the
you
Bible
understand
says.
this
Yes.
deeper.
True.
It's not just sex.
Yes.
You're getting yourself involved
deeper.
into different.
Yeah.
You're getting yourself into
That's true.
other doors, you know, because it's not just the basic.
I feel like and now I'm not trying to segregate women versus men, but I feel like men have been talking about this for years on end on social media. And but I feel like the movements out there that are super strong, like there's a certain distraction that's there. We don't know who created it, but there's a distraction there that's been created, and there's an agenda to make sure that people to diminish these soul ties you guys are talking about. It's out there. It's a fact, right? Hot Girl Summer. That's a movement created
see
by a
what you
person.
mean. Yeah.
They're literally, I don't know if they're paid, but there's a movement that's out there that's supposed to destroy us, right? Now we need to work a lot harder
Yeah.
to get it back on track. But I don't know if that's something. We can do.
It's spreading the narrative of it's okay. It's okay to do all these things.
Yeah.
It's okay to expose myself in a certain type of way. It's okay to, it's spreading that narrative. And now what does that mean? It means that, I know you brought the issue of gender. That's why I'm saying this, right? You brought it up.
Okay.
It means that we need to understand the power we have as different genders, right?
Yes.
When God created us, He created us for different things, right?
Yeah.
Men have what they're supposed to. God granted you your certain gifts, and women are certain gifts, right? And as women,
That's another
right?
topic right there.
Yeah.
That's a whole. That's a
Right?
really deep topic too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And women, we're the flowers, right? That's just how we're meant to be. So when we understand our power, it means that we cannot use our power to derail each and every other man in the world, right? No, it's true.
Yeah.
So now such movements, when you say that, the people involved in such movements don't have an understanding of how much power a woman holds
Oh, yeah.
in the eyes of a man. So if we just had the chance to sit and understand the power we hold as, whether as a gender or even generally as a person, be able to make different decisions and, provide a solution, generally.
Yeah.
But how many people are ready to sit down and really talk about the
that's where
solution? That's
yes.
another whole different problem that we are already facing.
Or even who has people around them having these conversations,
Oh, yeah.
That's a
that
really good
prompt
point.
them to think about these things that way, this way.
So I also want to include, I don't want to get into it too much, but I also want to include socioeconomics, right? The wealthier communities teach their children to not have such things. Soul ties, being loose, they're really, the wealthy communities talk about how to protect their children and how to make them be successful. And successful, that has to do with that too. It also has to, it's a part of it, right? There's no, I'm going to use this, you don't see somebody from a suburbs, a girl from a suburbs being told to twerk that shit. Oh, excuse me. I did not mean to say that. You're not going to see them doing that type of ratchet behavior. You're not going to see ratchet behavior, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see them doing extracurricular activities, going to school, programs, all those good programming stuff, versus a different socioeconomics. It's very normal for somebody to be jumping on top of a car and dancing.
That's true.
The music also, don't forget the music that's being portrayed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think all those little things that add on,
They do add on.
it's a little trickle here, and then it all builds up into one piece. And then when that gets built, it's very hard to destroy it because it's so embedded in there. Its foundation. The foundation is so bad that you cannot destroy it. So how do we, how do we fix such a thing?
That's a big question that needs a big answer, long-term answer. And you can't change the world in one day. but we can change one person at a time.
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
And I
one
think that's why we
person
got
at a
here.
time. Yes,
That's how we got here.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's how we got here.
That's how we got here.
You
That's how we
know,
got here.
One person at a time. How are you reacting to what you're seeing on social media? You know, how are you? Yes, on TV, even TV actually. Yeah, TV, social media,
Jesus,
TV too.
bad.
I feel like it's almost everything, even the music you listen to.
Everything,
You know?
everything.
Everything.
Even literally, even going to a cafe nowadays, like temptations everywhere, because things have just been normalized so much, and we just don't see it. You know, children want to dress a certain type of way. It's
That's the worst.
why,
is the
right?
worst.
Why? You know, so all these things just come together. And as Ben said, it's a little of this, that, and then it all explodes to something greater than us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe we should talk about the root of it, you know? The way you're bringing up the child, you know?
That's a start.
That's a start. Maybe
think-
by that bringing.
Since I don't think let's call it this massive building, right? There's no possibility to fix it. I think the best way to do is we can talk to people and tell them, listen, when you see something, think about what you just saw. When you're scrolling and you see somebody doing something weird, you look at it once and think about it 2-3 times. Why did I see such a thing? And what is the message behind it?
Yeah.
I think that will help kind of like, okay, this is not for me, this is for me, or I like this, let me continue seeing it. But ultimately, you made the decision for yourself.
So,
I'm saying?
okay, so it also leads to choice. So I feel like this also goes to, if you allow yourself to be led by lust, that's a choice too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a choice too, because you can choose to not be led by it. You
Yeah.
can choose not to be led by it and see life in another different perspective.
Yeah.
And also you can choose to be, oh, I like it, I see it, I like it, you know?
Like what
Yeah.
you said, it's going to affect your future.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Marriage, or your
In the long
relationships,
term.
it will
Yeah.
affect you eventually.
And it's not visually, you're not seeing it visually, but it's actually having an effect at the back, in the background. And
Yes.
you only realize it when you're too far deep.
Oh yeah, that is true.
And that I believe that's what most people deal with. At that moment, when you're letting your eye, you know, when you're letting your eye see all these things and you're caught into it and you fall into that temptation, you don't actually see the effect at that moment.
Yeah.
You see it later on.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, why is it a temptation? Because it's meant to lure you.
Oh yeah.
So it's giving you that, you know, it just gives you that, what's the word to use? A quick satisfaction that doesn't really last. You're just there for a moment and then that's it.
That's it.
And that's basically what social media does
Oh,
too, right? Like it's
definitely.
quick, you just get that
Dopamine,
instant
the quick
gratification
dopamine.
and then you just, you know, dopamine.
Yeah.
Right? So we just need to understand that this is deeper than what the eye can see.
Yeah.
It's deeper than what the eye can see in all aspects. There's no way to sit and just think that I'm just watching these, I'm just listening to these. We have to understand, and I'm born again. The Bible is, this is the foundation of each and everything. Decision, how I view things, and our bodies are the temple of God. Right? So just understanding that your body is the temple of God. So that means you need to be mindful what you're listening to, what you're seeing, the conversation that you're having, right? And once you understand that, you're able to change very many aspects of your life, your decision making, what you allow, your marriage changes, you know, your relationship decisions, all those things. It just has to start with understanding that our bodies are the temple of God. And that leads you to being mindful with what you're taking into this body.
Oh yeah, that is deep. That is deep. And even to those who per se don't believe in God, you know, they might not believe in the soul ties or whatsoever, but there's also still an effect that it causes. You know what I mean? Because it now makes your mind think that, oh, it's okay to have multiple partners. It's okay to do this. It's okay to go around having sex, you know? I've heard of cases where someone was in a marriage, someone got engaged, but they had to actually leave that marriage because they felt that the partner was not satisfying them enough.
Yeah.
So it's not even just a one-sided thing. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. And it leads to destruction one way or another, because at this point now you're destroying your marriage, you're destroying relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have to get to a point where we understand that we need to make a covenant with our eyes, with our ears, with our, as I said, like, it just boils down to that simple understanding. Whether you believe in God or not, right? You just have to understand everything you're intaking. Don't see things superficially, as Ben said. See them for what they really are. See what's behind what you're seeing. And that's the only way where we can be able to, work different, decide different, have different marriages, different relationships.
Wow. That, I love that. I feel like you said literally everything. You kind of summarized everything that's there to really know, because all these things are a choice. The music that you play on your phone or wherever, it's a choice you make.
Yeah.
And every decision leads to a consequence.
That's true.
Ooh. Ben, what you gotta say?
I think Tyler Perry is bad for the black community.
Oh my God.
No, but I mean, I'm saying that loosely.
I'm joking at the same
I
time,
know.
but most of the shows he has are like kind of destructive.
Then don't watch them.
Thank you.
Okay, flee.
But they're very entertaining. That's the problem.
You have a
Entertainment is becoming the
you have a
norm.
choice to switch off that TV. You have a choice.
Entertainment is becoming the new norm.
Yeah, and entertainment, when they take entertainment, they take it to reality.
Yes.
Okay,
Like,
again.
for example, like
I
I just saw, I'm not gonna say her name. She's a big artist, like big artist. I just saw her say that if my child had she has a boy, right? She was saying if my son had a child out of wedlock or at 18 years old, I would kick them out. And I'm like, wait, why would you do that? Yeah, you've been doing the same thing. You did the same thing around the same age, and you said that, which is crazy, right? But then people look up to her when she says things like that. People take it serious. That's my point. Right? So if I look up to her, she's my favorite artist, and I see her saying stuff like that, and then let's say I'm in this let's weirdly say happens, I'm in the same stage. What am I gonna do? Listen to her.
Oh yeah, that is.
So I also think like we need to realize who are role models and who are just people who are just there for entertainment. Entertainment is becoming entertainment. It needs to just stay as that. Don't take it serious. That's another topic we can get into.
But
which is heavy.
that needs adult understanding.
It does. It does.
When a child is growing up, and with social media, it's so hard to control what our children are exposed to. So right now, as an adult, I have that understanding. Hey, I cannot take these to here. I cannot, but a child doesn't. That's why they need to be molded. But now social media is fighting these in all aspects because they have access. Even when you put all these passwords, blah, 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 they still have access to some extent. Because the friend at school is in maybe a home that has access to everything. They'll be able to feed from there. They'll be able to feed from here. So, I mean, solutions, that's a very good solution, but we have to have different solutions in the different stages of life, right? We have to have different solutions. But it will always boil down to you as an individual. Before you involve your child, before you involve your friend, before you involve society, before you involve social media, what is your perspective? What is your understanding? Who am I? How should I take care of myself? What should I indulge in? Right? Should all these temptations be getting to me? How can I get myself to a place where I have self-control? Because self-control beats lust on all these temptations.
Yeah.
How can I build self-control? Once you build us and you do the same, someone else does the same, you do the same, now we have a functioning community, right? We have a functioning society. And we will have very different topics.
Oh yeah.
Right?
So if we had to boil it to three things for the audience and the future seers of these videos, so we said, or you said self-control is one of them.
Yes.
We said programming. Anything else we can add to say to be on the lookout to realize what is actually being shown or given is not the true, or my question is, how can we teach the younger generation to succeed and have fruitful relationships and all that in the future.
And avoid lust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Avoid
absolutely.
temptation or
Avoid
falling into temptation.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. As a youth, I would say, first of all, guard your mind, guard your eyes, guard your heart. Because whatever you feed on, you become it. You might not know it, but you slowly become it. Surround yourself with the right company, because it really influences who you become.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add on that?
That's basically it. But we have to take time with ourselves to understand why we're here, to understand our spirit man, why God put us here, and how He wants us to carry ourselves. Because once you understand that your body is the temple of God, you will be very mindful with what you expose this temple of God to. And that simple understanding will help you make very many decisions. It will help you, as a young youth, wherever you are, your life in college, whatever stage you're in, that will help you because it will help you make the right decisions, to be in the right company, as you said, to, what are you watching? And then in future, it will help you be in fruitful marriages, fruitful relationships, because you understood who you are and how to guard this temple of God. That simple understanding really solves so much. And you also understand that self-control is the gift of the Holy Spirit.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so you're not operating with just your own power. God is there to help you and to guide you through this journey. I was actually reading a verse, and that's Titus 2:11. It says, "For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age." I love that last part. In this present age, the grace of God. So understand who you are. Your body is a temple of God, and then the grace of God is there to guide you through. That we can be able to say no, that we can be able to live a self-controlled life, upright life, and a godly life in this present age. So even 20 years from now, 30 years from now, that's going to be your present age. Guess what? The grace of God doesn't change. It's there.
So now that we're talking about lust and also how it leads to sexual morality, do you feel like our modern society has normalized having sex before marriages? Or
In always.
Yeah.
or what's your thought on that?
The answer is yes, and yes.
Yeah. That's a straight
hear
yes.
your thought on that. I really want to hear your thought on that. Because I've had a lot of people my age tell me, "Oh, it's just having fun,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Learning.
It's just having fun. It's been normalized to be that. It's just having fun.
And I feel like it all leads back to the effects that we were talking about when it comes to relationships and marriages, because you already opened a door to yourself.
The effects go with you long term. So things we're dealing with, or even things married people are dealing with, they stemmed from maybe years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who you show up in marriage is who you've been building up for a few years. No, you just didn't show up and become this person. Well, you can change, but we just have to understand that what we're doing now affects the future.
Oh, yeah.
And as of right now, having sex before marriage is normal. So unfortunately, less conversations about the opposite are being held because it's too normal.
It's too casual. It's too casual.
They view as if you say don't have sex before marriage, you're the what?
I know.
Like how do you do that? Because it's just not. It's almost non-existent. Yeah,
That is true.
it's almost non-existent.
That is true. Oh my. That is a very broad topic, honestly, that we are currently discussing. If we get into the sex before marriage thing, I don't think we're going to finish it. Yeah, I don't think you're going to finish it here. I don't think we're going to finish it here because, unfortunately, it is something that has been normalized currently.
Yeah.
At the age of 16, here somebody's already having sex. They're already having family planning,
Exactly.
And I feel like the more we're not educated on these things, the easier it is to get trapped in them.
And even just something basically as basic as discussion.
Mhm.
like just having a discussion. It might not be let's stop it, but just discussing it can actually lead towards reducing that being the normal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's conversation. It doesn't have to have an end to it, but it can. That's a start.
Oh.
We have to have these conversations from the family setting, as friends, schools, everywhere. They just have to be had. That way people can operate from a place of knowledge and not lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know of something, you will not stay out of it. Because you don't understand the effects. You don't understand what it will do for you. But once you understand it, you're able to have a different outlook and approach it different.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have different outcomes when we converse more.
I love that. I love that. Oh, I feel like we should do a part 2 on this. We should definitely do a part 2. For 2 and 3 and 4, maybe, because we have not really maximized everything.
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of being minimal right now because of time and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad we have had this. And again, this is just for educational purposes. So don't be attacking us on the comment sections.
You do attack both of them. Leave me out of it.
That is you.
Sad with him. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really enjoyed this, and I've really learned so much. I have gotten different perspectives, and different understanding also some areas. So I would really, really love for you guys to come for part 2. Please do come for part 2. Do come for part 2. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up because of time and everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something as I did. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this message resonated with you. Bye.